Yes, children. After studying the pillars of preamble, we are moving towards our next topic, which is basic features of Constitution. Basic features of Constitution. As we have studied what was Constitution, its importance of Constitution, now we will move towards basic feature of Constitution. Here in this chapter you have total 14 features of the Constitution, which includes first written documents. First I will tell only the head points, and after that we will study in detail what are these basic features. First, so moving towards basic feature of Constitution, first feature is written document. Second, size of Constitution. Third, single citizenship. Fourth, the center with strong federal structure. Fifth, unified arrangement during crisis. Sixth, parliamentary system. Seventh, independent and impartial judiciary. Eighth, amendments in Constitution. Ninth, universal adult suffrage. 10th, secularism. 11th, judicial review. 12th, fundamental rights and duties. 13th, directive principle of state policy. 14th, provision for backward section and tribes. So these were the points which were been included in basic feature of the Constitution. So now we are moving towards the detailed explanation, the detailed points of this basic feature of Constitution. So children, as we have seen that the Constitution came into force on 26th January 1950, and it is to be considered as a detailed written document regarding the laws and orders of the country. So now moving towards this topic in detail. The Constitution, which came into force on 26 January 1950, is considered as the largest extensive and detailed written document. So it is considered as the largest extensive which came into 26 January 1950. So we will see our first feature. As you can see on the screen, our first feature of Constitution, our first feature, basic feature of Constitution is written document. Why a Constitution is a written document? Except Britain and Israel, India along with other nations of the world have their Constitution in written form. Yes, except the Britain and Israel, India is having its Constitution in the written form, but including Britain, Israel is not having its Constitution in written form. You can see USA, France, China, Germany. Considering the social, geographical, diversified circumstances and prehistorical notions, the Constituent Assembly has kept the drafted Constitution in written form, and it is as in the form of a drafted, as we have seen. So you can see the drafting of a Constitution. Next, so first basic feature of Constitution was in written document, except what we have seen that except Britain and Israel, all other countries have their Constitution in the form of written. Our next feature, as you can see on the screen, is size of Constitution. Children, size of Constitution means how many sections are there, as we have seen, how many appendix are there, what it includes, and it includes the judiciary, and it includes its institution, what it includes. So, size of Constitution. Indian Constitution is divided into 22 sections comprising 395 articles and 8 appendix. Now they are 12. As we have already seen when we were studying the process of drafting, as we know now, our third topic was process of drafting the Constitution. In that we have seen that first it was 295 articles were there. Then due to the amendment it changed to 395 articles. So same year Indian Constitution is divided into how many sections? It is divided into 22 sections comprising of 395 articles and 8 appendix, and now this appendix from 8 it has changed to 12. So it is divided into how many sections? 22 sections, 395 articles and 8 appendixes. Yes, it includes the fundamental rights. The Constitution comprises provisions for state administration and states, interrelations. It includes fundamental rights as we have studied in our topic, the right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, rights to constitutional remedies. Then principles for political policies also we have seen. Yes, village, it includes fundamental rights, principle of political, judiciary elections, election commissions, village government institution, which you can see it includes in village government institution Gram Panchayat, Taluka Panchayat, Jilla Panchayat, and urban government institution includes municipality and municipal corporation. As judiciary, political parties are also influenced. Election commission are also influenced in this, minority are also influenced in this, scheduled caste people and deprived groups are included in this. Therefore, our Constitution of India is largest, extensive and detailed written document compared to other constitution. So we can say that our size of constitution is very large. From this feature we can say that our size of constitution is very large, it is very extensive and it is a detailed written form document which comprises of many things. So after the size of constitution we will move towards our next basic feature, which is single citizenship. As children we have studied our two basic features, which was first was written document, then second was size of constitution. In written document what we have seen, it is in the form of written document, and second the size of constitution is very large. And our third is single citizenship. As single citizenship we will study. In America, dual citizenship is given, one for United States of America and another for state citizenship. As in America you can see there is a dual citizenship, but if we talk about India, in India there is a single citizenship irrespective of any region of the country. But you can see in India there is only single citizenship. In America we have dual citizenship, and in India we have single citizenship. Only citizens of Jammu Kashmir, see, most important, in India we have single citizenship, but only citizens of Jammu Kashmir have dual citizenship, one for India and another for state of Jammu Kashmir. So in India there is a one place which have dual citizenship, which is Jammu Kashmir, except that we all have a single citizenship. So this was the third basic point, which is single citizenship. So we have studied three basic features of constitution. Now moving towards our fourth basic feature of constitution, which is the center with strong federal structure. So moving towards it, the center with strong federal structure. As we know that India is a union of states, there is no nowhere any reference of the word federal in the constitution. As you can see, Union of States is the sentence used for India. So this word Union of States is used for India. By the use of word union, union as we can say means together, a permanent and irreversible relationship between union and its component state is indicated, and by using this the relationship between union and its component state is indicated. India is a union of states and no state has right to secede it. Thus, India is a union of states, yet it has some elements of federal government. As we can see, we are a union of state, but then also we have our federal government, our head of government. In Indian Federation there are two sets of government. You can see in our Indian Federation there are two sets. One is union government, another is state government. As you can see in the screen, one is union government and another is state government. The constitution has already marked areas of functioning for both the kinds of government. You can see children, in union government what it is included: defense, foreign affairs, atomic energy, banking, railway, communication, post and telegram. This all the activities are included in union government. Whereas you can see on another side state government. In state government, children, law and orders are included, state affairs are included. What is included in the state? State government institutions are included, agriculture are included, irrigation facilities are included, health is included, land is included, and interstate trade and commerce facilities are included. So in center with strong federal structure, we have seen that it has two bisections according to the union government and according to the state government. So two sets were there, one of union government and state government. The constitution has clearly marked areas of functionings of both the kinds of government. As we can see that both the kinds of functioning are being happening in our country. You can see taking the section of union government, if we talk about the banking, there are many facilities which is given by union government. If we talk about state government, yes, we are having our irrigation facility. As we talk about agriculture, the farmers are given the loan, proper loan. As we talk about trade and commerce, the basic facilities is also included. So children, the center with strong federal structure, you will see it is divided into the constitution democrates, means limits the power of central and state government into different lists. You will study now three lists, which are union list, state list and concurrent list. Union list, first we will move towards union list. What is union list? Which is held by union government. You can see union list comprises of 97 subjects. How many subjects it includes? It includes 97 subjects. And what are included? As we have seen, what subjects are included in it? Like union list, you can see on the right side, defense, foreign affairs, atomic energy, banking, railway, communication, post and telegraph. So these are included in the subjects of union list. So total there are 97 subjects in union list, and this particular things are included in union list. So moving towards our second point, which is state list. What is included in state list? As we have seen our union list now, so subject of national, so now this were included in the union list. State list. The state list comprises of 66 subjects. Union list was having 97 subjects and state list is having 66 subjects. Yes, you can see children, the state list is having law and order, state government institution, agriculture, irrigation, health, land, interstate trade and commerce. You can see this of this are included in state government institutions. State government state list. The state list comprises of those important subjects on which the state legislative house can pass the laws. Yes, this state list only comprises of the things by which the state legislative can pass their laws. Subjects like law and order, state government institution, agriculture and irrigation, health, land, interstate trade and commerce are included in this. You can see the state government on the screen, health, interstate trade and commerce. So, if there is a failure of law and order in the state, the union government with consent or against the will of state can send reserve police force. If you are against this, then the state can send reserve police force. So we have studied our state list. First was union list and then it includes state list. Our third is concurrent list. Concurrent list means done at the same time or existing. Concurrent means if we do at the same time or existing. In addition to this, the constitution provides for a third list that is called concurrent list. Means first was union list, second was state list, and third is concurrent list. Concurrent list, we will see that the concurrent list total has 47 subjects. In union list we have seen that it was having 97 subjects. In state list we have seen that it was having 66 subjects, and concurrent list is having 47 subjects. You can see, children, on the right side, concurrent list have this following subjects like criminal and civil procedure, marriage and divorce, education, economic planning, and trade union. This all the things are included in the concurrent list, which are done at the same time. Next. So it comes after union list and state list, which consist of subjects of common concern both to the central and state government. So concurrent list is common to central and state government. It includes both the subject, can pass laws on this subject. Central and state government can also pass laws on this subject like marriage and divorce, as we are seeing, education, economic planning, trade union. The concurrent list has how many subjects? The concurrent list has 47 subjects. The list includes subjects like we have seen criminal and civil procedure. Yes, this list can also, these decisions can also be taken by central government and state government. So this list includes subjects like criminal and civil procedures, marriage and divorce, education, economic planning, trade union, etc. You can see the criminal, the marriages, the education, the economic planning, this is trade union, all lists are included in this concurrent list. So our next feature is residuary powers. Residuary powers. Residuary powers means legislative person who makes the laws. The subjects which are not specifically allotted to union or state are included in residual powers. As we have seen that in the center with federal structure, the list was allocated with central and state government, but the subjects which are not allocated to the center and state government are included in this residuary powers. The central government the central government is given the power to legislative on this residuary subjects. So who is given the power? The central government is given the power. The financial distribution of resources is done between union and state government. So from this, if the financial distribution of money is to be done between whom? Between the union government and state government, as we can see, like excise and custom, export and import, income tax. All these major taxes are decided by central government. As we can see, if we are purchasing anything from outside, then we pay excise duty, custom duty, import duty, tax. All these taxes are paid by us in everything, which we will study. These taxes we will study in our next session. Sales tax, revenue tax, entertainment tax, educational tax, which are having merged financial resources, are decided by state government. So these are the taxes which are decided by the central government. So residual powers are having the distribution of financial resources between residual powers were having the distribution of financial resources between the union government and state government. In union government, you have seen excise duty, custom duty, export, import, all these taxes. While on central government, you will see sales tax, revenue tax, entertainment tax, educational tax. Now, next, moving to our next. So our next basic feature is unified arrangement during the crisis. So how there was a unified arrangement between the crisis? Here you will see the three provisions for emergencies in Constitution of India. If there arises any emergencies in the Constitution, what they will do? First is national emergency, second is constitutional emergency, and third is financial emergency. National emergency, children, are declared when there is time of war, external attack and armed rebellion. Rebellion means violating action of the people. So national emergency, when it is to be there? When there is time of war, external attack and armed rebellion. Second is constitutional emergency. Due to law and order breakdown, if there is any, the order which is to be given is to be breakdown, then what exists? Constitutional emergency is been exist. Third is financial emergency. Financial emergency arises due to increase in the prices, there is monetary value erosion. Erosion means damage. So if financial emergency means due to increase in prices, there is a financial emergency. So in the unified arrangement during crisis means what were the arrangement when there is a emergencies. So this emergencies are there: national emergency, constitutional emergency and financial. You can say, children, national emergency can be declared at the time of war, external attack or armed rebellion. Rebellion means violate acting by the people. Due to law and order breakdown, the state cannot function according to the constitution, so constitutional emergency is declared. And third was financial emergency. Financial emergency, due to increase in the prices, there is monetary value erosion means damage, at that financial emergency is declared. The central government has been given the power to deal with this emergency. So the central government is given the power to deal with all three emergencies, which are national emergency, constitutional emergency and financial emergency. At the time of emergency, India is almost turned into a unitary system.